Good evening. Welcome to Channel 8 Sports and East Brunswick High School boys basketball. Tonight it's East Brunswick and Sayreville. And Phil, our first game of the season. East Brunswick comes in 0-1. Bo Henning's fourth year on the job.
Right. A different team. A lot of new faces. Of course, they lost Mike Reisner, Andy Ratzka, and Dave Beck. So a lot of new faces. Teams. A lot of guys coming up from the JV team like Gagno and a few other players. I saw them against Piscataway. I'll tell you, the fact of the matter is the first half they looked very tough. And in the second half they just sort of ran out of gas. Piscataway, again, having a very tough team. But you got to feel that for Bo Henning, no pressure this year. He doesn't have the name players. Not a whole lot will be expected of these Bears, and yet I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. They spent the summer at this Westville camp, and I understand they were very physical there. They weren't quite as physical against Piscataway. The refs wouldn't let them play their game, but I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. They have a few injuries. Varnell Johnson just around now coming back, trying to get his basketball legs. Eric Phillips out with a knee injury, expected back in early January. And by the time they get everybody healthy, they could prove to be pretty tough in the conference.
Okay. Jimmy, we turn to Sayreville, and we never really think about Sayreville and basketball together, but they got some athletes this year.
They have some athletes, and just to quelch that one, though, I have to go back to the early 70s, during my heyday, where Sayreville was an excellent basketball program, but you're right. They have fallen on hard times in the 80s, particularly. Hank Connolly is in his third year of this resurrection program that he's had, and he's making good progress. The teams in 1989 they finished 17-9. Last year I think they were 17-10 if I remember. They're starting to come around. However, there's some things that need to come together for them. A major loss is going to be DJ Cleary, who's going to be out for 4 weeks. He's one of their better players, but they have people like Harry Nikelny, who we remember as the football quarterback. Tom Kubatz is another quality player, if I remember correctly. Paul Thompson, looking at the starting lineup here. They have a little bit of height, and I think that the challenge for them tonight is to be able to handle the team defense that East Brunswick presents and the speed that East Brunswick also presents.
All right, we're back on the hardwood. First game of the season, a 10-game slate here on Channel 8, so we hope you stay with us. It's East Brunswick and Sayreville boys basketball, and we'll be back with you in just a moment. Well, we're about ready to get it underway here. East Brunswick home opener. East Brunswick and Sayreville. The Bears come in 0-1, as does Sayreville. And we'll get to the starting lineups in just a moment. At center will be Rich Kutza, though, for East Brunswick. Soccer player making the transition over.
Richie Kutza, supposedly a much stronger player this year, Phil.
True. Bo Henning says he's been a big surprise.
The Bears will control it. That's Tenora. And a good play there by Nikelny.
And Nikelny, what an athlete. You remember him, the quarterback of the Bomber team. And
I was quite impressed by him this past year. I maintain that next year he's going to be the top quarterback in the Red Division, certainly, and maybe in the GMC.
Inside to Kutza. Johnson will put it up for the first shot and makes it.
Was that a two-pointer? Yes, it was.
Yep.
Okay, look, that was from far distance.
And the Bears,
Sayreville turns it over.
And I'll tell you, the Bears doing a full court press, putting the pressure on early, and Sayreville not reacting well.
Bears on top, 2-0. We've just started, first quarter.
And Sayreville content to stay in that 2-1-2 zone.
Good
Moving
pass.
around, Kutz underneath. And it looks like Sayreville's going to have a hard time keeping up with the speed of East Brunswick. Let's see, their first offensive set.
Kubats just took a
finger in the
eye.
Yeah.
Johnson
all the way, won't go. And a whistle.
They're going to call him out of bounds. Jumped in bounds from that.
You're exactly right. Varnell Johnson had gone out of bounds, came back in to get the ball, and the official caught it.
Again, East Brunswick pressing. Sayreville's only touched the ball once on offense. This is their second time. They'll set it up now, half court.
It's Sola with the ball. John.
And they're going to call a
5 seconds. All right.
Said he wasn't moving forward, I tell you. Sola trying to be a little fancy with the ball and just got caught up in it.
You know, I'd like to say that Sayreville is not going to be succumbing to the pressure that East Brunswick. This is supposedly a well-coached team. Hank Connolly is in his 3rd year, as I mentioned.
Kutza inside the Berliner, won't go. Up, that was Fisher. Berliner, yes.
Well, it looks like East Brunswick has the board advantage thus far.
Bears by 6. Sayreville yet to get on the scoreboard. Sola to Clark.
And the Bears are in a man-to-man.
Clark looking for a little help, tries to go inside, have to pull it back out. This is Sola.
Entire team, black sneakers this year.
I'll tell you, we can talk about that later.
Shot by Kubica. And they're going to call Kutza going over the back. That was over on Paul Thompson.
And you got Brett Fisher guarding Paul Thompson with the substantial height advantage. I'm surprised they're not trying to get it down to Thompson a little bit more.
Johnson tried to steal on Clark. Sayreville keeping it alive. And Clark was on the line, the white line.
Good defense by Johnson, forced.
Well, once again, the pressure. The Bears are putting on the pressure, and again, Sayreville's not reacting well.
Tenora brings it across court. Looks inside for Kutza. Good pass to Berliner, and he's fouled underneath by Thompson.
Richie Kutz is a junior, and you can see that Henning was right. That was a good move there, looking underneath for Berliner.
I'll tell you, Bo Henning's eyes just lit up when he talked about Rich Kutzka. He said he's really going to be the surprise this year. He's just developed so much in 1 year period of time. He felt he didn't let him loose enough during the Piscataway game. You can expect to see more of his talents in this game.
Feel unusual for an East Brunswick center, but a lot of speed and quickness. And that is on the part of Rich Kutza.
6'4", standing 6'4".
And 6'5", Matt Berliner at the line, and he sinks it.
Bears 7-0 now. And Sayreville having all sorts of problems. Thompson will dish it off now to Sola, who will drive. Gives it to Kubis.
Good defense.
Block
Partial
by
block.
Johnson. And the Bears quickly. Transition, Johnson, nice move to the hoop. Now make it 9-0.
Didn't look like any football legs there, Phil.
Timeout, Sayreville.
Did a real nice job. You know, I wanted to say before that with DJ Cleary for Sayreville and Varnell Johnson, we had 2 just named all-state football players. Varnell Johnson being named to the Associated Press first-team defense as a secondary back, and Cleary to the third-team offense as a wide receiver. 2 quality football players. Cleary, though, is out with that leg injury.
Fantastic honor for both. But there you see Bo Henning there talking to his troops, and Bo's got to be pretty pleased right now. And, team shaking off the effects of that Piscataway loss and coming out sharp. But in the Piscataway game, they came out strong early on also. It was just the second half. They just didn't do quite much, so it remains to be seen what happens here.
Phil, they were 14-11 last year. Do you think this team has an opportunity to better that record?
I'll tell you, with the Eastern States tournament coming up, it's a hard thing to say. We got to see what happens with this team, how they develop. Right now, the personality's not quite clear. They do have some talent, though.
Sayreville will inbound. They trail 9-0. 5:28 remaining in the first quarter.
Nice defensive play by Johnson.
Defensive back play.
Yeah. Set a team record of 152 tackles. That's probably one reason why he was named to the All-State football team.
Well, not quite 152, more like 127.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Back to basketball.
And this is Clark for Sayreville. They're still looking for the first points of the night. And another turnover.
I'll tell you, they are completely rattled. And it's not like the Bears are putting on a smothering defense. I mean, they're hounding them, but it's not like they're just dogging them.
Well, Connolly called a timeout to try to right things, but
Ball knocked away. Still East Brunswick under their own basket.
And I thought that went off Matt Berliner's hands, but the official is giving it to the Bears.
Tenora to throw it in. Fisher. Back to Tenora, back to Fisher, and then moving it around well. This is Johnson to Kutza. We've seen this before from East Brunswick. And a foul's going to be called on Kubat.
it's his first foul.
.4:53 remaining first quarter. Bears up 9-0. Fisher a long one, won't go. Thompson on the rebound. He'll give it to Clark. Clark quickly looking underneath. Tenora breaks it up.
Just a bad pass by Clark.
Thompson back to Sola. And their first points of the night. Sayreville trailing now 9-2.
Ooh.
Tenora able to keep control. Berliner gets it out. Out to Johnson.
Good pass.
Inside. And Kutza makes it. We talk about putting that ball on the floor, Phil.
Berliner just went down and is limping now.
Went right over his own foot, I believe.
And that's a lot going down. Matt Berliner, 6'5", and he's a beefy one, I tell you.
Szymanski will come in for Berliner.
And Jeff Gagnon will be replacing Varnell Johnson.
Tenora right to Szymanski. Nice turnaround.
That's a quick 2 points for Nick.
He didn't break a sweat yet. 13-2 is our score. Bears by 11. Sayreville quickly down. McKilney, a little too strong. And Tenora on the rebound.
Good pass.
Got Fisher ahead. Good transition game by the Bears.
That's what Bo Henning thinks is their strength.
Sola being pressured. Now we'll give it to Clark. Clark somehow gets through and puts up a left-handed shot. That makes it.
Bill Linners walking with no ill effect.
And the Bears will slow it up a little bit. They have an 11-point lead. Tenora inside to Szymanski. And they're going to call up.
Offensive foul.
Yeah. Turned right into him.
And then Kelly took a shot from Szymanski.
As I recall, Nikelny took a few shots from Szymanski on the gridiron as well.
He's cut. Nikilny is cut over his left eye.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there it is. Stitch him up. I'll tell you what, Harry Nikelny is a tough kid. I know his parents very, very well, and he started playing sports at a very young age, and he's going to be quite an athlete. I think he's possibly a scholarship athlete.
And not too happy about being out of the game. He didn't seem to care about the cut. He just didn't want to be out of the game.
He's replaced by Koneski. Sola now will bring it up. Clark looks inside. He's got Kubas. And it'll go finally. 15-6. Bears by 9. 2:59 remaining first quarter. Tenora over to Fisher. Inside to Kutza. Good pass back out.
Kutza
Shot by Gagnon didn't go, but the follow-up was good.
Boy, that was a strong rebound.
Kineski, and he has it kicked out by Kutza.
Phil, what impresses me most about Rich Kutza is not only his tenaciousness, but he seems to be able to be in the right place at the right time.
Well, he's just a basketball player. He's a nice feel on the court. You can see that instantly.
And he'll take a breather.
I'll tell you, the Bombers still haven't dealt well with this pressure, and they're content to stay in a zone defense on when they are on defense.
Eber in for Kutza, and Varnell Johnson will come in and take Fisher's place. So some fresh bodies going in for the Bears. 2:20 remaining in the first quarter. East Brunswick in the lead, 17-6. Tenora to Johnson. Tenora will drive, dish it back out to Gagno off the glass.
They are smooth. That shot underneath is open every time, and Sayreville has yet to adjust.
Sola being pressured by Eber. Finally gets it out to Kineski. Sola looking for some help. He finds Clark. Clark has it knocked away by Gagno. Looking for Johnson ahead. The roll fingertip won't go. Tenora. Yes.
Tenora and Szymanski fighting for the ball. Tenora comes up and puts it up.
Awful lot of second shots for the Bears, too.
Thompson all by himself. 21-8. Tenora, pull it back out, slow it down a little bit. Johnson now.
Bunch of new faces in there, John. It's 23 Gallagher in the back.
And the Bears trying to pull him out of that zone right now. I don't know why. They seem to be tearing it up.
Pace is slow considering. Clark steps in. Nice move, not able to save it though.
Clark showing good speed.
Berliner back in.
And Kevin O'Neill as well, number 25.
Eber saves, but right to Sayreville. And Sola quickly down court to Thompson, who'll put it up. And he hits. And we're down to 10 seconds remaining first quarter. Bears by 11, 21-10. O'Neill across the Berliner.
They need to get it up.
Seconds.
They need to get it up.
And a bad pass there is looking cross court for Gagno. Two seconds. Clark will center court off the rim. So at the end of one, it's the Bears 21, Sayreville 10. And a lot of speed and hustle shown by East Brunswick.
I'll tell you, a lot of speed and hustle, and Bo Henning doing something that he didn't get a chance to do that first game is to use that bench. He said he felt he didn't use his bench well enough, and he planned to do it tonight. Of course, when you're in the lead like they are, you have more of an opportunity to do so.
Meanwhile, Sayreville does not have the depth that East Brunswick has. And I think fatigue could enter into this game in a little while because East Brunswick just keeps on running them in and out. Bodies are always fresh. Transition is what they want to accomplish in this game, and thus far it's worked.
Bo Henning talking to his troops. And you see it in the T-shirt is Eric Phillips. Eric still nagged by that football injury, but should be back, as Phil mentioned, in early January.
And I've been told he's a good one. Of course, he went to Lakewood, played with Lakewood last year, and transferred back here. And they said probably a better basketball player than he is a football player. That remains to be seen. That's saying a lot.
We're getting ready to start the second quarter. Bears with a rather comfortable 11-point lead, and really it seems like it could be more.
And
we're looking at McKelney.
Yeah, he's putting his coat on. It looks like he might have to go and get stitched up.
Well, that doesn't bid well for the Bombers at all.
They're taking him out.
And another turnover by Sayreville. This is Johnson. Looking underneath for Eber. Off Sayreville, so the Bears will keep it under their own basket.
I wonder if he's like a hockey player. He gets stitched up and come back.
He's that kind of kid. Eber keeps it alive. Give it to Johnson. O'Neal looking for someone, and that'll be Gagno who will take it. O'Neal blocked.
Good blocks.
And Sola, having trouble controlling it, pushes it off to Clark.
Great pass.
Off Koneski's hand. And
Koneski wasn't ready for it.
He was the man who made that block down the other end. Wasn't able to hold the ball to the ball there.
Turnovers have been the key for Sayreville. Bears by 11. Second quarter action.
Now they're playing a perimeter game here, but they're constantly looking back door.
And they're going to call Berliner for 3 seconds. No, they're going to call him for a push, I think.
Yeah.
I thought maybe he was in the paint too long. O'Neal will take a rest, so will Eber, and Tenora and Kutza come back in.
Let's see the defense.
Thompson back to Sola. Sola short. Saved, and Clark was on the line. Tenora walks his way up court.
And they're back with the starting 5.
Across to Johnson.
They like to move it around.
Kutza will take it. Around the rim. Won't drop, and this is Clark. Quickly. Got no one to go to, however. And knocked away by East Brunswick.
I'll tell you, the Bombers are rushing everything, not making good passes.
Phil, I have to think that Cleary's absence may have a little something to do with that. He's a small forward, but he does act as the quarterback, and Sola in this position right now is not quite used to that.
Well, Cleary was also their leading rebounder, averaging 9 rebounds a game last year.
And they're going to call Berliner.
That's his second. And of course, Nikelny being out of there.
Nikelny, but then again, like the Giants, you can't cry about injuries. You still got to play.
And
that's for you, Jim.
Sola looks for Clark, finds him. Clark blocked by Kutza. And Thompson pulls it down. A little spin move is short. And East Brunswick in the transition game again as Tenora comes down, pulls up and puts it up. Won't go this time.
Koneski with the rebound.
And Sola quickly looks for Clark, knocked away. Ooh, they're going to say it's East Brunswick's ball. I thought it was off Johnson's hand. So a lot of action, not much to show for it. The score is still 21-10. Bears by 11.
And this is what the score was after the first quarter.
Kutza looking for Berliner, who wasn't anticipating the pass.
Richie actually had a clear path to the basket.
Fisher. Nice use of his body. Make it 23-10.
I'll tell you, I like Brett Fisher. He scored 7 points against Piscataway. Showed some good floor presence and picking up right here.
Henning thinks that he's a fine defensive player and can shoot it from long range, I understand.
Koneski won't go. Fisher to Tenora.
It's almost a pick play there.
And he's out of bounds.
A little indecisiveness by the official. Awards it to Sayreville.
And Nikelny is out the door, so we probably won't see any more of him.
Now Clark and off Koneski's hand. And boy, how many have we seen of that in early second quarter?
Unforced turnovers.
Tenora glides in, a little short though. Sola, 3-on-1, takes it himself. And Szymanski with the rebound.
Ooh.
Fisher keeps control and is able to roll it in.
I'll tell you, a great bounce pass by Brian Tenor, and Fisher showing good control of the ball and putting it up.
Foul by Fisher. 25-10's our score. Bears by 15. 4:41 remaining second quarter.
All right, they're going to nail Fisher with his first foul.
And official talking to the Sayreville coach, telling him, take it easy.
Oh, he's got to be frustrated because his team really hasn't done much at all.
This is Clark. Johnson on him. He's all over him.
Nice
Taken
steal.
by Tenor from behind.
Oh,
3-on-2, Johnson, and he's fouled by Clark.
Johnson not happy with that foul. He was heading right towards the Sayreville player.
Well, he better wise up because if he gets put out of the game, he's out for 2 games.
Yes, that's a GMC rule.
Right, so he better settle down.
Clark was actually falling, and Johnson went over top of him. And Varnell will shoot 2, goes to the line as Sayreville is in the team foul category.
He took enough hits during football season. I think he's a little sensitive.
He'll get one more. Bears by 15. Pretty much having their way tonight.
Too many foul shooting opportunities.
And Szymanski over to back of Thompson.
This is Manuel Perez, I believe, number 40, that's about ready to come into the game.
And the foul is on Nick Szymanski. And Perez will come in.
So that's a totally lost possession for the Bears. Here they're going to the foul line to shoot 2. They come away with nothing, and they foul on the play. Wasted possession.
Clark being guarded by Johnson. Gets it back. Kubaks.
It's a nice play.
25-12. Bears by 13.
Not only is high on Tom Kubats, if there's one complaint, he can't keep weight on.
Szymanski, little spin move. 27-12. Back to 15 points for East Brunswick.
A lot of beef inside.
Oh boy. Clark loses it off his foot.
I'll tell you, they must have 15 turnovers at this stage already.
And Tenora, he'll take it.
Sure, why not?
And makes it.
They're giving it to him.
29-12. 3:40 remaining here in the second quarter.
Sayreville's in a relaxed 2-3.
East Brunswick looking to balance out their record at 1-1. So you saw that Piscataway team. Are they a team to be reckoned with in the GMC?
They have to be. I haven't seen the other teams, of course, but they looked pretty good, particularly during the second half. They're going to be heard from, no doubt about it.
Foul was on Johnson. That'll send Clark to the line.
I'll tell you this, the point guard for Piscataway, and his name slips me right now.
Grant? Nate Grant?
No, Grant's gone.
Okay,
It's
you're right.
another young
Yeah.
fella, but
Curtis Smith.
Curtis Smith, he's
Yeah.
got to be one of the best in the county. He just totally controlled the show.
Clark looking for Sayreville's 13th point. And a little strong. Szymanski had it. And Kutza controls it. And he's fouled by Perez, I believe.
Yeah, he's nailed.
He's wrecked the
4-0.
Perez, it is.
I'll tell you, the official might have been just a bit short of calling the technical on that. It almost looked flagrant.
Yeah.
Nora. Cross. Fisher all by himself. 3-pointer. Won't go. Thompson on the rebound.
Szymanski really moved his man out inside.
3:10 remaining. Sola looking for some help. Will take it himself. And Kutza with the rebound.
Good positioning on that defensive board. He's where he should be.
Tenora, Gagno. Kutza to Fisher. No one moving there. Kutza on the spin.
Nice turnaround move.
A little high on the glass, however.
Too strong.
29-12, the Bears by 17. 2:30 remaining, second quarter. East Brunswick and Sayreville.
Boy, there's a lot of pushing underneath.
Yeah.
I think Thompson, yeah, he's the one that did it. Thompson was trying to push his way underneath of the basket. Kutza stood his ground. It should be Thompson's second.
Eber comes in for Kutza. Koneski comes back in.
Connolly's complaining that they weren't buzzed into substitution.
Tenora kicked away by Sola.
I tell you, Connolly's frustration just showing. He's picking on. And that's just total frustration on his part.
You can hear probably the conversation going on. Henning's trying to say, yes, we did buzz the buzzer. Connolly said we didn't.
Show him the replay. East Brunswick. Gagno in the corner.
Nice
Underneath
move.
the Eber. Good left-handed layup.
I like that.
They have been doing it all game. Really, that's the thing that you see that's creating the opportunities underneath. They don't stand still.
Brian Eber, I don't know if he's a lefty or not. If he isn't, a really nice move. A nice move even if he is.
Clark, three-pointer. Won't go. Follow-up won't go. And Eber with the rebound.
Here we go with the transition.
Tenora. Again, has that shot. Fisher on the rebound.
Wow.
31.
I'll tell you what, East Brunswick just plain out hustling Sayreville at this point.
33-12 with 1:20 left second quarter.
Fisher, 8
Right to
points.
Eber. And a foul's going to be called.
Sola.
You're right, Phil. Number 10.
I believe that's a one-on-one. Well, we've been in the bonus for
Yeah.
a while here. So Fisher, already the leading scorer in this game with 8 points on 4 field goals, will have an opportunity to up that.
And take a good look at Brett Fisher, and he knows how to put it up. Last year with the JVs, he's averaged 17 points per game. So he's a shooter.
I'm not quite
34 for East Brunswick.
I'm not quite sure Bo Henning realized that Fisher would have this sort of impact. Certainly not this quick. This
gotta
is
be
only
pleased.
the second game. It's only the second game, but he sure looks comfortable out there.
East Brunswick by 23. It's 35-12. And Sayreville has only had 1 bucket this second quarter.
Yeah, this is a dismal half. I think Sayreville wants to forget.
Clark being pressured by Tenora. Good hustle by Brian. Goes out of bounds. Kutza comes in. Szymanski sits down. And Gallagher will come in for Clark. 1 minute remaining before halftime. East Brunswick comfortably ahead, 35-12. Gallagher try to set something up.
I'll tell you, this is perfect defense that the Bears are playing. This man-to-man, it's got them totally confused.
Gallagher, yes.
And only a shot like that is really going to be the way they score.
From the perimeter, it's 35-14.
Meanwhile, Sayreville stays in its 2-3. East Brunswick quite content to let the clock run out with a 21-point lead.
Belgium, they really can't match up with a man-for-man, so. But I do question the 2-3. Anyway, Tenora will work the clock. 15 seconds remaining before half. And now they'll move it. Eber to Gagno. Across the Fisher by himself, three-pointer. Off the rim and off Gagno's hands as Solo will bring it up for the Bombers. Low behind the back. Showboat. Wow, at the buzzer.
Well, not sure what the behind the back accomplished, but 2 points.
He got the 2.
Well, it's halftime here at East Brunswick, and the Bears are on top 35-16.
Now,
And we'll be back with third quarter action in just a moment. Well, the team's coming out for the second half. The Bears on top 35-16. Really no contest, but Jim, you have the scoring.
Yeah, dominant performance by the Bears. Fisher leading the way with 10 points, followed by Rich Kutza with 6 points. Johnson has 4. So does Tenora. So does Szymanski.
Good heads-up play by Fisher to save it and put it into Berliner for the bucket.
And Berliner now has 5.
Thompson won't go. That's been the way it is, Sayreville's night, rather. Sola tries a spin move, got his arm caught.
Yeah, he's hurting. That shoulder may be out, as a matter of fact.
It is out, clearly out. The
Yep.
shoulder.
Just dislocated.
Yeah, clearly out. You got.
All right, well, you got the right man there.
Phil Hostler on the scene.
It's not a pretty sight. Shoulder clearly out of the socket.
Maybe his elbow, Phil.
I'd be surprised. I saw that shoulder and it was.
They're rubbing the elbow.
Well,
The position that he was in, you sort of thought that maybe he might have dislocation. But he ran right into a pick.
okay. I thought it was the shoulder, but it does appear to be as if they're looking at the elbow. Maybe they, you know how you sort of hit knees, he may have hit elbows.
Just to finish the scoring, as we watch
Sola.
being attended to, Gagno has 2 points, Eber has 2. For Sayreville, Kubats 4, Thompson 4, Sola, who we see there, 4, Sean Gallagher 2, and Mike Clark 2 points. So that's the scoring.
And it's been a rather dreadful night for Sayreville, quite honestly. They only have 16 points as Sola is up. Gets a nice hand from the crowd.
I'll tell you,
Amazing recovery there.
I'll tell you, you see Phil Hostler there. You're right. It's a reassuring thing to have someone like Phil Hostler here anytime a possible injury occurs.
Sayreville will have it.
Now that's additional problems now for Sayreville, because Sola was running the show for him. Let's see who does it now.
And
Right
Barnell showing his quickness.
Johnson.
Fisher.
To
Great.
Kutza, and he's blocked from behind. That'll be a foul.
They're going to call Kubats on that foul.
That's actually Ralph Koneski. number
20.
t-
Oh, I'm sorry.
22.
You're right. Okay.
Right.
No one in any foul trouble. Berliner has 2. Szymanski has 2 for East Brunswick.
Kutza makes it 38-16.
And that's his 7th point of the night.
And off the rim as Clark brings it up quickly for Sayreville. Pulls up and is short.
It's amazing. He was looking behind him even before he shot.
Clark on a steal.
Redeemed himself. You're right, Jimmy. He's looking back to see where Barnell Johnson was and had lost control of the ball. Redeemed himself and put up the layup.
38-18, the Bears by 20. Third quarter action as Tenora dumps off to Berliner. Blocked. And Sayreville showing a little more defense to start this third quarter. Gallagher looking for some help. We'll give it back to Clark.
And the Bears still in that man-to-man.
Sayreville not able to run that half-court show. Koneski will give it back to Gallagher. Inside to Thompson, a foul's gonna be called on Kutza. Reaching in.
Kutza with his 2nd.
Sayreville from underneath.
And 1.
Kubas.
All right, Berliner picks up his 3rd foul.
Tom Kubas, see if he can make it a three-point play. And a little strong. Thompson saves it, but loses it. And Berliner.
Whoops, here we go. Well, I think they're going to let Matt Berliner go out for a second.
And Szymanski will come in and give Berliner a break.
A little weight disadvantage there, I would say.
Well, I'll tell you, we smile about these young players that, again, are going to have to learn to control themselves. It's all in the heat of the game
Right.
there. But again, you risk suspension, you're out for 2 games. Szymanski, Berliner last week against Piscataway got a little hot under the collar as well. So he's going to have to learn to control that temper.
Tenor gives it to Fisher as East Brunswick starts it off. Gallagher on the steal. And just can't make the layup as Tenor follows.
Whoops. Whoa, there's another physical hit. Same player, Tom Kubats. And
Johnson takes one in the
he's
head
down.
right in front of us.
He's all right. Where's he going?
He's saying, put somebody in for me. He's hurt.
Right into the locker room.
Well, you attempted to say that the officials should get control of this game, but I don't think it's anything out of the way. It doesn't appear to be intentional blows by anyone.
Well,
Tenor over the back of Thompson.
Now, the officials are going to have to watch this because you can see that that foul was reactionary to what just happened right now, and I think maybe the teams better just cool off for a second. And that's what's happening. There's a timeout being called.
Timeout by East Brunswick.
And I think that's what Bo Henning's doing. He didn't wait for the officials. He's calling them over himself, and he's going to cool them all out.
Yep. Physical game.
Yeah, we don't have the mic on Bo tonight, but you best believe he's letting them know that this team's behind. They're a little frustrated. They may take a few shots, but we cannot react. You got to think. You got to use your head. And
nothing was working, Phil, for Sayreville in the first half. I have to think that Connolly just pulled out all the stops and said, look, come on, let's go out there and play as spirited as we can. I think the team took it to heart. And really, they're very, very aggressive. Kubats, well, the county's gone for them. And we, of course, seen Chris Sola go down. Kubats has been responsible for that foul against Johnson. He also was involved with the altercation with Berliner. So it's a tough game.
Tough game. East Brunswick's on top, 38-20. So an 18-point lead with 5:50 to go here in the third quarter. But it is getting a little rough, and Varnell's coming out of the trainer's room.
That's good to see.
And Sayreville will inbound. And Sola's back in, so just maybe a little problem with the elbow, but not enough to keep him out. Koneski forces one.
Good rebound.
And Szymanski with the rebound.
Sweeps the elbows.
And Tenor quickly. Gagno all by himself, short. And a foul's called inside by Thompson. Against Thompson, rather.
Now that's a problem. He has 3 fouls.
And everybody's giving that what me look to the official anytime they're calling a foul.
Third team foul, second rather, for Sayreville. Tenora in the corner, will bring it out to Fisher. Back to Tenora. Looking for someone in the middle, and it's Kutza, he's by himself. Good job by Clark and Thompson to get their hand on the ball, knock it away.
Well, I know we haven't seen a 3-pointer by either team tonight.
No, the Bears have 2 this year. They did 2 against Piscataway. One by Vernell, another by Brett Fisher.
Sola.
But I think a point can be made that this is not a particularly adept strong outside shooting team that we see with East Brunswick.
Kubas won't go. Clark follows up though, keeps it alive for the Bombers. Thompson, a little hesitation. Clark is there. Thompson again forces it. Whoa, makes it, and a foul's going to be called on Gagno. Now they're calling on Szymanski. Varnell will come back in, and Gagno will take a breather.
Another aspect of this quarter, certainly Sayreville's not turning the ball over as it did in the first half. And that's maybe one of the reasons why they're able to creep back.
Kutza with the rebound. 38-22. East Brunswick by 16. 4:35 remaining, third quarter. Tenora has got the area, just won't fall. Szymanski on the rebound, muscles it up.
And you're right, John. That's exactly what he did. Muscled it up, using that body and that bulk.
Kutza on the steal to Fisher. Fisher's blocked, and it's good. Sola will be charged with the foul.
And quick sequence there. East Brunswick's back up to a 20-point lead again.
42-22, and Fisher goes to the line.
And Brett Fisher in the right place at the right time again.
Short, Thompson will give it to the Bombers. Sola will bring it up. Sola loses control, and I believe it's going to be on Szymanski.
I'll tell you, Sola does more spins than Earl Monroe. He always doesn't execute on him, but he likes to spin with that ball a lot.
Szymanski will take a breather, and Berliner will come back in.
Okay, that's 4 fouls on Nick, according to the board.
Fisher.
Good
Kineski,
steal.
stale by Tenora. It's all his. Phil was waiting for that finger roll. Sola quickly looking for someone, no one there. We got a 3-on-1, Tenora.
Nice
great
to Kutza.
Great pass.
Yeah, it's a great thing. Well, East Brunswick has it rolling again.
Timeout Sayreville as East Brunswick goes on top 46-22.
And I'll tell you, if you're bowhitting, you got to like the movement of the ball there.
Like the movement of the ball, and nice distribution of scoring here for East Brunswick too. That's another nice thing about this team that I'm noticing is that it's a lot of people involved in the scoring, not just one. You are getting that by Fisher and a lot from the guards, but certainly you're getting good contributions from all the players all the way around.
And I'll tell you, as you look at Hank Connolly there with his squad, got to be a little frustrated. Just 22 points. And they're here deep in the third quarter. All he wants to do is improve on this team. The first year he had them, they were 7-17. The second year they were 10-12. He wants to improve on that. He wants to see some improvement each year. Right now he has a tough going.
Well, it's certainly going East Brunswick's way, and I got to think if you're an East Brunswick fan, you got to be pleased by the way they move the ball, looking for the open man. Bombers will inbound, down court quickly to Clark, who will put it up, and he's been short all night. Good pass, and
Travel.
they'll call it on Barnell. Ball stolen from Kineski. Thompson to Clark. And he stepped out and came back in.
They caught Solo on the line. Screen ball.
And Hank Connolly just turns his head as if to say, must you take everything?
Good pass underneath. Fisher tried to force it. Johnson takes Clark.
Yeah, it was more Johnson running into Clark.
We saw that about 6 weeks ago. That kind of hitting.
I'll tell you. And they bring Barnell out for a rest. I'm surprised the officials haven't said a word to this point.
3:20 remaining, third quarter. East Brunswick by 24. Clark, he's been in front of every rim he's shot at. Tenora quickly down, great pass for
Tresca.
Frank Tresca.
Yeah, seeing his first action here.
I didn't see him come in.
I think Treska was a little surprised. He caught the ball. He was a little underneath the basket so it was difficult.
Kineski back to Sola. Sola doesn't shoot much. There he goes.
Nice
Left
left
hand,
hand.
nice move. Didn't spin either, Phil.
No, he didn't.
Tenora will bring it over to Kutza. Treska to Tenora. Back to Treska.
Well, they can afford to wait to take a good shot here with this 22-point lead.
46-24. East Brunswick on top. Fisher to Kutza, who's come out now. They're going to spread him out a little bit. Tenora inside. Kutza on a turnaround. In and out. Eber saves it. And they'll go cross court to Tenora. Underneath is Eber. And he lost control of it as Sola brings it up for the Sayreville. Stolen by Tenora.
That's the second time he's done that.
Tenora has no one underneath. Stolen by Clark.
There we go.
Clark.
A little ragged now, the play.
And they're going to call a foul on
Offensive
Fisher.
Foul.
Oh.
That's on Clark.
Wait a minute. One official called an offensive foul.
It's against Fisher, blocking.
They got it right. One called offense and the other called it defensive. And
It's like this official wins out here.
Warnell comes in and Brett Fisher takes a break. Steve Levy, number 43, will make his first appearance as Tenora will take a little breather himself.
and you look at Clark. Clark's just a sophomore at the line there, so he's going to get better. He's just got to be a little more sure of his shot. Of course, he scored 18 points against J.P. Stevens in his first game. So he's going to get better.
46-25. East Brunswick by 21. Clark gets one more. And East Brunswick by 20. With a minute 40 left in the third quarter.
Somebody missed
Fresco all by himself.
Ooh,
Misses it. And a foul's going to be called on.
33, it's got to be.
Yeah, Kubats with the elbow.
And you're right.
It's his third.
Levy to inbound. Treska pushes one in.
Nice shot.
It's one of the few long-range shots we've seen this evening by East Brunswick.
Out on the Bears. East Brunswick back to pressing again. Insola, and they're going to call a foul on Levy.
Levy, a 5'8" junior.
And that'll send Sola to the line. East Brunswick exceeding the team foul limit.
And you look at Sola, and Sola's also a sophomore. So Clark and Sola for Sayreville are sophomore, young players, and they can only get better. Sola is just a little reckless, not quite controlled. He has to learn some control.
Makes it, however.
But think of these guys 2 years from now.
Yeah.
Clark and Sola, and you can see why Connolly, despite this game tonight, is feeling a little positive towards the progress of the program.
And Sola hits both of them. East Brunswick's lead now 20, 48-28. Minute 15 remaining. Third quarter. Levy to Treska. East Brunswick would be content to move it around. Eber underneath
Great
to Berliner.
pass.
So everybody getting into the action here tonight, coming up with some nice plays.
Sola being pressured. And Johnson will be called as he steps in front of Thompson.
And I tell you, Brian Ebert just coming up with a super pass.
So Thompson will go to the line here, shooting 1-on-1.
East Brunswick at the half-century mark.
Yeah, I think they've got Varnell with his third foul.
Thompson. 50-29.
And he's a 6'4" junior. He also scored 18 points in his first game against Piscataway. J.P. Stevens.
40 seconds remaining, third quarter. East Brunswick by 20, 50-30. Johnson, three-pointer, no. Eber, rebound. He's fouled underneath by Thompson.
And Bo Henning just looking at Varnell. Johnson like, why'd you take that three?
Oh. Okay.
O'Neal will go in for Johnson.
And Bo Henning not pleased with Varnell taking that shot there. Brings him out of the game and is talking to him on the sideline there.
And Phil, people might wonder with a 20-point lead, why it doesn't matter, but you're really trying to build discipline. You're looking down the road for the other teams.
That's for sure.
Eber, left-handed, in and out. And he makes it 51-30. Clock down to 25 seconds remaining, third quarter. It's been all East Brunswick tonight, their first home game of the season. I apologize, second. They played Piscataway last week home to open the season. Home opener for us here at Channel 8 as Clark will put it up. Short again.
True to form.
And that'll do it at the buzzer. So with 8 minutes remaining, the Bears are on top by 19.
21 there.
I'm sorry, 21,
okay.
51-30.
Regardless, I think they probably can pretty much coast this fourth quarter here, doing the things that have been working with very nicely for them. A couple of players, Szymanski is in foul trouble with 4, but Johnson has 3, Berliner has 3. But they've been getting working for the easy shot. It looked like Sayreville was coming back there for a little bit, trying to narrow that gap. They had it down to 16, then a quick 5-point turnaround. East Brunswick was back up on top.
Now we talked about East Brunswick's schedule this year in the GMC. And as we take a look at it, they've played Piscataway tonight, Sayreville. Then they go into the Eastern States tournament, which doesn't affect the GMCs, but that's a tournament, Jimmy, that puts some of the best teams out there.
Oh yeah, it's not called the Eastern States for nothing. Not only are there quality teams from New Jersey, but you also have invitations extended to some teams from outside, and in particular Germantown Academy from Pennsylvania is one of the teams that's being brought in this year, along with Bayside of New York, also Linden, and then they follow up with a game at Newark Eastside on the 27th.
Here we go, fourth quarter starts, and Clark is short. Left-handed, tries to hook one in, won't go. Berliner with the rebound. Bears by 21. Fisher, yes. And East Brunswick has their starters in.
Oh, that's Fisher's 14th point. He's by far and away the leading scorer.
Sola spinning and moving. Perez makes his first tonight. Makes it 53-32. Tenora penetrates and brings it back out. Fisher has the lane.
Ooh.
Whoops. And Perez.
And look who's involved.
Stepped on his ankle.
Okay, Fisher's all right.
Yeah. Perez goes with a few pounds.
And Kabats, once
uniform.
again, number 33, right near the action.
However, they're going to give it to Perez as far as the foul is concerned.
Okay.
But you're right. Kubat seems to be quite willing to be the hit man for Sayreville tonight.
Tenora fouled underneath. Koneski will be awarded the foul. Jim, we're looking down at the schedule. Bishop Bar, obviously.
Yeah,
Stevens.
Bishop Bar and St. Joe's both deemed to be the two top teams in the.
We have a technical on White for unsportsmanlike conduct, and you got to believe.
Who might it be?
They're talking to number 33.
Tom Kubats.
Kubats, and we've been talking about him, and you see him raise his hands there, but anytime, I'm not trying to put the bad mouth on the young fella, but anytime any negative action has been around this evening, he's been right around it. I think his coach has got to talk to him. And it's probably his mouth this time. He wasn't being physical, probably something he said. Unsportsmanlike conduct, technical foul. And Tenora will shoot the 2.
Sayreville coach still looking for an explanation. And the referee's explaining how we will proceed with the order of events here. After the technical will be the foul shots.
Always interesting to look at the out-of-division teams that East Brunswick plays, because we're always used to seeing Stevens and Woodbridge and Perth Amboy, St. Joe's and the like, but Bishop Bar is a white division GMC team.
Tenora missed the first technical and misses the second.
Bears will also be playing at New Brunswick on January 9th. The Bishop Bar game, by the way, is January 4th. And then finally, on February 3rd, they'll be hosting Raritan of the Shore Conference as Tenora makes that shot. And then finally, Bridgewater.
Phil, I'm not sure what was going on there.
Well, you had the foul shots that he was going to take, and then you had the technical called on top of that. Now the Bears get possession of the ball.
But they remove all players from under the basket.
Right.
All right. Anyway, back to live action as Tenora gives it to Kutza. It's knocked away. I don't know if I should tell the story about Rich Kutza, but when he was a young man, a little guy, he grew up in my neighborhood and always walking around with a baseball glove or a football or a basketball. And who would have thought he would have been, had grown so big and become such a good athlete.
A strapping young fella.
Yeah, good to see. Johnson, good pass from Tenora, but it just won't happen. 6:30 remaining in the game. Solov, three-pointer.
Our first 3 of the night.
Yeah.
55-35, Bears by 20.
And I'll tell you what, I honestly
Tenora
didn't realize that both Clark and Sola were sophomores.
Both are sophomores. As a matter of fact, Jimmy, if you want to go look at the Sayreville starting team, they have 3 juniors and 2 sophs in their starting team, so they're going to be heard from certainly next year.
Oh, absolutely.
Timeout Sayreville.
I think at this point they're just being dominated by a physically stronger East Brunswick team with more team quickness.
And more depth, yeah.
And absolutely, the depth what Henning has been able to do. You see every one of those players has played tonight. Nobody has sat on the bench, and they have all played with a purpose, not for just clearing the bench. I think they've all contributed to this 20-point lead.
And I think the big difference, one of the big differences, I talked a little bit earlier about the Westfield Summer League, and I understood the Bear team was very physical up there. They didn't back down. They played good ball, and I think it pays off when you get back to regular season here. All of these guys like to play. They're going to get better as time goes on.
Well, it's certainly been a philosophy here at East Brunswick High School to play the best, regardless of sport. And it certainly has proven over the years to be a a winning strategy.
Talking about the best, had an opportunity before this game to watch the East Brunswick girls basketball team, and sorry I don't have the final score. My calculator broke. they are truly a team to watch, and we're going to look forward to watching them a number of times this year.
Clark hits 55-37.
I'll tell you, John, looking at Clark, I found out what his problem is. He doesn't follow through. He sort of snaps his wrist when he shoots that shot. That's why he comes up short. He needs to follow through on it.
Fisher pushes one. Hits. Two-pointer, however. He was inside the line.
16 points for Brett Fisher.
Bears by 20, 57-37. And they're still pressing.
Spin move, but Johnson was ready for him that time.
Clark, a little trouble with the ball, but he's putting it in. He's coming alive now.
Yes, he is. I have him for 10 points.
Tenora. Berliner, get it back out to Kutza. 5:10 remaining in the game. Fisher, and he's going to be fouled by Sola.
And Sola raises his head in disbelief. So maybe, gentlemen, the star is born. We're looking for somebody who's going to pick up the slack from those points that Reisner and Andy Ratzka used to put up last year, and Brett Fisher has come to the fore.
I have to think that Richie Kutza has more than taken the place of Raska, who used to have that knack for getting points underneath.
The garbage baskets, you're right.
Fisher misses the second one. Johnson, short, and here comes Clark. Oh, they're going to call a travel on him, even though Tenor had his hand on
I
it.
think the official blew the whistle, was not sure what call to make, and said, well, I'll get rid of my traveling.
And Brian Connolly is like, come on, fellas, already. If you're not sure, at least give us the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. Kutz has been somewhat quiet this half.
Well, he's moving the ball around well.
Yeah.
Fisher has the hot hand. Berliner underneath. A little spin. And Perez in your face.
Here we go.
And there's, I'll tell you, everybody's talking junk.
Yeah. Berliner said something, and I'll tell you what, Perez didn't back off.
I'll tell you what what Bo Henning will do with Berliner, though. He's going to teach him to put that ball right up.
Yeah.
Berliner went down for an unnecessary fake. He's big enough, strong enough to take that ball inside and put it back up. When he went down, he drew the foul, but didn't get the shot off.
And Perez comes out, and he'll have a little session with his coach.
Yeah, but I don't think he's too unhappy, though, with Mike Perez. Excuse me, Matt Perez. He did his job.
Berliner at the line.
And as you look at Berliner, of course, his older brother, it's good to see Greg back in action with Lehigh after sitting out a year with a bad back. So one of the East Brunswick's real bright star, Greg Berliner, back in action with Lehigh.
That's right.
Grant wiggles and jiggles, and he makes it. He's a fourth quarter player, it looks like.
He looked like Nate Grant of Piscataway, but actually it's Clark, John.
We have 4:13 left in this game. The Bears on top, 59-41. Sayreville coming to life a little bit here this quarter.
Well, Clark now is the leading scorer with 12 points. And Sola, the other sophomore, has 11. So those are the two leading scorers for Sayreville.
Surprised by Bo Henning keeping his starters in this long?
Well, it's not as he hasn't used the bench. He has used the bench quite a bit. And the game's winding down, but he wants his starters sharp as well. They got to go to that Eastern States, and the starter's going to probably play a lot of minutes, so they might as well get used to it now.
Ball is loose. Everyone's on the ground.
Yeah, this has all the look of a first quarter, the way they're going at it. You wouldn't think it's an 18-point game.
Tenoro will come out as Levy goes in.
tag with his second foul.
And that'll bring Mr. Grant to the line.
Mr. Clark. Mr. Clark, sir.
I'm sorry, Mr. Clark. You got me going with Grant. Similar in stature, though.
Similar in stature.
He's smooth.
Well, he's not quite nowhere near as smooth as Grant, but he has some time to grow.
And Johnson fell into the lane.
Almost a hitch.
And this game, put it mildly, has been a little sloppy. Both teams. And they're going to give the ball one rub. Phil, if you ever did that in high school, you'd be yanked and put on the bench.
There you go.
Today, these young players, they want the ball a certain way, and they watch too much TV, I guess. Clark now makes it. I guess it meant something because he made the basket. 59-43. East Brunswick gets it down quickly. Levy looking, and he'll give it to Varnell. Now Fisher. Back to Levy, looking inside for Berliner. He's covered. So Kutza will come out and set things up. Levy gets in. Varnell out in the corner to Fisher. Varnell will take it, and he makes it. 61-43, East Brunswick. 2:45 remaining in the game. Sola spins as usual and makes it.
Quite strong with that move.
I'll tell you, again, we hate to keep repeating the point, but they're sophomores and they got to get better.
And some wholesale changes now for East Brunswick. O'Neill comes in, Treska and Szymanski. Johnson, Berliner, and Fisher will take a rest. 2:35 left. Bears comfortably in the lead, 61-45. That's O'Neill with the ball, cross court to Levy. Or maybe a backdoor play here. O'Neill.
East Brunswick only looking for the best shot here. They're not in any hurry.
Levy's looking for someone to come up and help. Finally, O'Neill comes back out.
And I'll tell you, the Bombers waited awfully late to go to
Push up,
man-to-man.
yeah. Szymanski now. He's not the guy you want with the
That's
ball.
5.
Yeah, that's not his forte.
And both coaches still coaching.
Only second game of the season for both teams.
He uses both hands well, Phil.
Sola. Yes, so he and Clark have come alive this fourth quarter to make it 61-47 Sayreville. Treska. Knocked away by Sola. Eber comes in, Szymanski goes out. Treska holds on to it. Back to Levy, he'll take the shot. Three-pointer.
It's an air ball. Hit the line on the way down, so Sayreville retains possession. So as this game winds down, Sayreville closing the gap, but in reality, they really never were in this game.
.50 seconds remaining. Tresca made a nice play, but stepped on the line. Solo to Thompson.
They need to get to the basket.
Solo put it up off the rim and off Levy. And obviously it touched Sayreville, so East Brunswick will keep it.
Sayreville backs off.
O'Neal, and they're going to call a foul on Clark.
Only a second? Third.
Third on Clark. 41 seconds remaining. And East Brunswick will even their record at 1-1. Sayreville will fall to 0-2. And East Brunswick will start off the day after Christmas in the Eastern States tournament. And a bad pass by Sayreville. 30 seconds remain as Brad Hockman comes in.
Brad Hockman, as we know, is the soccer goaltender for the East Brunswick Bears.
What a season he had this year in soccer. Levy quickly brings it up. Gives it to O'Neal. 22 seconds remaining. Hockman is fouled by Thompson. That should be it for him.
Yeah, he's gone. And we got a timeout here?
No, Paul Thompson.
Let's see what this is all about.
Apparently, timeout Sayreville.
Yes. Hank Connolly elects to call timeout with 18 seconds left. I'm sure he's talking about Sayreville's next game.
Well, either that or about getting to the bus on time tonight.
Well, Connolly, I've been impressed with his composure all night. They've been out of this game, but he's continued to coach, and he realizes that he has a young team, and he just wants to develop them as they go along. He doesn't care anything about the score right now. He wants them to understand what he's talking about, wants them to get better as they go along.
And you see on the left side there, in the not in the uniform, that's DJ Cleary. He's the one we're talking about. He was the All-State wide receiver at junior and was being counted on heavily, so he was not playing tonight. Harry McKelney was gone early on.
Right.
Yep.
And that combination of East Brunswick pressure really did in Sayreville tonight.
Well, East Brunswick's on top 61-47. 18 seconds remain. As we mentioned at the outset of the show, we'll be carrying 10 games this year, 5 boys, 5 girls. So a lot of action here on Channel 8. We hope you'll join us this season as we move into 1992 as Hockman at the line. A little strong.
Everybody sort of stood still thinking it was a 2-shot foul.
12 seconds, Tresca, and he's fouled by Grant.
Well, John, this is the time of game I'm sure you remembered it a lot. You'd get in the game and you just hope to get fouled so you can get to the foul line and get your name in the column.
Tresca is going to...
I have to say, Phil, this was not my sport, despite my 6'4" frame. Tresca.
Nice touch.
For all those young fellas out there, I got cut my freshman year. By Mel Casero, by the way, who was the former head football coach at East Brunswick. I never forgiven Mel for that. He knew something I didn't, and that was I couldn't play basketball. Steal by O'Neal.
He's not going to get it off.
And that'll do it. Whoops. And at the buzzer, 63-47 is our final.
Well,
Phil, I think East Brunswick did some things they wanted to try to accomplish tonight. They got that offense going, moved the ball, the transition game, and they wanted to show some defense, and I think they did all of those things.
They want to show some defense, and they want to use some of the younger players, more players, and they did that tonight. They got to be feeling a lot better. They have some talent out there. They're going to mesh together a little better as the time goes on, and before the year's out, they're going to be a very good team.
And a couple of players are starting to find themselves with very well-defined roles. Richie Kutza now is going to be known as a presence inside for East Brunswick, being able to get those points. And I think Brett Fisher established himself a little bit with his scoring touch tonight.
Well, a lot to look forward to as the 1992 season comes upon us. And with that, let me wish everyone out in our audience, on behalf of Phil, Jimmy, Peter, and Dave, and everyone associated with Channel 8, happy holidays, the best of health and happiness in 92. We'll be back January 4th with the East Brunswick High School girls. So happy holidays, everyone.